Hello, hello, and welcome back to another Expert VR Friday recap. My name is Evan Sittler Bates. I am the co founder and CEO of XpertVR. Let's dive into it. First off, this week we have sign language in virtual reality. So, pretty cool here. This is inside of VR chat using hand tracking, and people are doing sign language, learning sign language inside of virtual reality. And in my opinion, this is a perfect use of virtual reality. Let's see if this video loads up here. Perfect use of virtual reality because hand tracking is now very accurate inside of VR, and being able to see what hand positions you should be doing in front of you, and then being able to make those positions and have maybe a conversation with another person inside there or some sort of AI that's understanding what hand positions you're doing. Um, could allow so many more people to learn sign language and be able to use sign language in their day-to-day life. So really exciting to see what is being developed in virtual reality to learn these types of skills. Now going to the kind of darker side of virtual reality, something that came out last week and I didn't share it, but have been getting a lot of questions about it. So decided this is probably the right time. So you may have seen this headset here. This was created, this is the MetaQuest Pro is the headset, but these explosive devices that are put on top of it are from the original co-founder and CEO of uh, of Oculus, which Facebook purchased back in 2014 to build out their whole VR department and VR offerings. And so Palmer Luckey, he created this, and a lot of people have been coming to myself and others inside of Expert VR asking, is their headset going to hurt them, or are some of our developers' families were worried their headset would hurt them? So first off, I want to say that that is not the case. No headsets come with explosive devices built into them. This was made, if you're not familiar, because there was a show called Sword Art Online. It was an anime show where basically uh, in the game you put on this headset. Kind of, it was more like a neural link, kind of like Elon Musk is trying to create, and you go inside of the virtual world. And inside of the show, in the big launch day, which in the show was November 6th, 2022, obviously that date just passed, and that's when this post came up. People were locked inside of the headset. If they tried to take them off or they tried to leave the game, they would die. So this is kind of an ode to that show. I think probably not the best way to do it, Palmer Luckey, and definitely made a lot of people question virtual reality, and just not a great image. But at the same time, if you know the show, if you know what he's trying to do, it is just kind of a parody joke type of thing. So nothing to worry about there. Just wanted to make sure to get that out. And talking about Oculus and VR, other obviously there's been tons of things going on, and so another thing to highlight that is exciting for Oculus is that they have reported that 1/3 of the games on their store have broke $1 million in revenue, and The Walking Dead as one game has done over $50 million in revenue. And so ourselves at Expert VR, we know that the education industry and the enterprise training industry are huge inside of virtual reality and are going to only continue growing. But there has been some skepticism around consumer VR. And I think this just really shows, with there being over 10 million headsets sold last year. It shows that there's an appetite for the hardware, and seeing that this much money is being spent on the software also shows that there's a huge appetite for great games. I think these numbers could be higher, obviously, but there are amazing free games out there. So most people, they're getting the headset and they're going to go into those free games first and then buy other games down the road. So very good start to see there. Now, flipping back to kind of the sad side, I know last week quickly reported that Meta was doing 11,000 layoffs, laying off 11,000 people. And I was kind of predicting that hopefully this wouldn't impact their VR department too much. And from some of the people I follow on LinkedIn who work at Meta, it seems like it hasn't affected the VR department as much as some other departments. But just read this morning that Monica here is being laid off, and she is the head of immersive learning and education at Meta, and before that was in a education partnerships division of Meta and head of that. So sad to see obviously anybody getting laid off, but especially as we're trying to build education around VR and VR education, as well as um, promote VR as a great solution for training and education to enterprise and academic clients. Seeing that the head of this division is being laid off is definitely sad to see. That being said, if you read through her post, she does talk about how she's seen so many of these people that are getting laid off coming together to start their own ideas or get connected in other ways that they're passionate about. So it's good to hear from somebody inside that there are those connections being made, and that these people, or lots of people getting laid off, hopefully do have good opportunities available to them, whether that be at another company or at starting their own idea and side hustle. And then lastly, I wanted to highlight again that XpertVR is taking part in Movember, and we're coming up on our goal as a team here. We might extend this goal if we make it though. But yeah, you can see there's four of us on the team here: myself, Megan, Kenny, and Chris. We have some activity goals that we're working towards. We're about halfway through the month here, over halfway through the month, so we got to pick it up. But yeah, we've been doing a great job at reaching our financial goal, and just great charity to be supporting, helping support men's health, whether that be suicide prevention or fighting different types of cancer that men face, and other diseases that men face. Just so happy to be supporting this cause. I've done it for a while, but especially after last month supporting ending violence against women in the Walk a Mile in Your Shoes and Walking a Mile in Heels. Now doing another charity for the opposite gender. It just kind of is a great way to be capping off the year at Expert VR. So that is your Expert VR Friday recap. All the links to the articles that I mentioned and posts that I mentioned, and links to our Movember fundraising page will be in the comments or description down below or above. So please follow those to learn more and to donate to our Movember campaign if you can. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.